everybody. My name is Maria. I'm the REEF Executive Director, and I really want to thank today Anastasia, who is an admission counselor at CUNY and who will really give you a great overview of how to apply, especially at CUNY University, including also issues of financial aid. So we are really, really happy to have you, Anastasia, for a second time. And we are looking forward to this new presentation as this is the time, you know, the college application season. Anyone, if you have, of course, any questions, please feel free to do so through the chat and also through us afterwards if you need some follow-up. I left my email also under my name. So Anastasia, it's really great to see you, and thank you again for taking the time and to give us this overview about college application.
Thank you very much. My name is Anastasia Maximenko, and I'm admission counselor at CUNY, City University of New York. Today we're going to talk about everything about the college. I will definitely, since I work in CUNY, I will promote a little bit CUNY, but today's information you basically can use for any other college if you're interested in applying anywhere else. Let me, like I have obviously, let me share the presentation. And of course, everything is slow. Let me know if you can see it.
Yeah, we got it on our side.
Okay, perfect. So today we're gonna let's talk about agenda. So I will cover US education and type of, we have some mistake up here. That's fine. So we're gonna talk about types of colleges. I will talk a little bit of CUNY. I will explain what means credit. I will explain application process, financial aid, and a little bit information for those who already have higher education. So, just to let you know, there's going to be a small green rectangles like over here. It's just a little bit of vocabulary for you to know because some of the words that we use in higher education may be a little bit confusing. So we'll definitely go over them. So here is basically the higher education in the United States, and basically it starts after the high school. As you can see here, everything that you learn in high school, we call it secondary, and basically after the 4 years of high school, you go to the higher education. It's up to you. Sometimes you go only to the career technical institution. Also, you can decide to go to 2-year college, which we call community or junior college. And if you want to, you can go to 4-year college and everything that we call undergraduate degree. Some of the things may be similar in your country. So definitely, for instance, in Ukraine, in Russia, you can also go to 2 to 3-year college and earn some degree. And for instance, in most of the countries, after 4 years in a university, you earn bachelor degree. Except some countries like India or Poland, where they have a bachelor degree up to 3 years. But in the United States, it's 4 years, and that's called undergraduate degrees. And after the bachelor degree, if you decide to go higher, this is called graduate degree, and it includes master's degrees and PhDs. All of that called post-secondary, higher secondary degree, and everything after the, I'm sorry, high school is secondary degree, everything after the high school would be post-secondary. To go over some vocabulary, in the United States, we sometimes use college, school, university, institute interchangeably, meaning it's kind of all the same. For instance, hey, I'm going to college or I'm going to school. Sometimes it means the same thing. And over here, I put degree, diploma, and studies sometimes also mean all the same thing. And let's look, so how actually, if we call everything colleges, how to recognize what colleges, what's the difference between colleges. So colleges in the United States are mostly divided into public and private. And if we look at the New York State and we look at the public, we have two big systems. One called CUNY, which means the City University of New York, another one called SUNY, the State University of New York. Basically, it's the public colleges that owned by government, and the money comes from the government. And basically, all the colleges that are located in the city of New York, they part of the CUNY system, which is the City University of New York, and we have 25 colleges. And another system that is in the entire state of New York called the State University of New York, and they do have 60 colleges. And private colleges divided into nonprofit and for-profit. So nonprofit in New York State, for instance, nonprofit schools also divides into Ivy Leagues and not Ivy. We know about Ivy Leagues. This is Columbia in New York City. There is a Harvard in Boston, and that's the biggest school that you hear about, the most amazing school, right? And those nonprofit that are not Ivy in New York City is New York University, Fordham, and Pace University. What's the meaning of nonprofit? But they privately owned, so they're not owned by the government. They don't get money from the government. They get money from this research and maybe some of the very influential people who have money, but they don't make profit off of students. So basically, yes, you pay a lot of money to those universities, but basically that's the not main profit that they make. That is why there's a difference for profit colleges. For instance, New York City, it's ASA, Monroe Plaza, they make money off of the students. So basically the main money that they make is the students who come to their colleges and pay money. So in the end, which, a lot of students ask, so which college is the best? There are some basically rankings and some websites where you can find out which college is the best. But again, I don't think that is the best information for you because again, some of the colleges can pay to those ranking lists to have them on the top of the page. So that is why I don't think that is the best question, which college is the best. The best question is which college is the best for me. Because yes, we can say that Harvard is the best university in the United States, but if you don't have money, about $60,000 a year to pay for that education, I don't think that's for instance, for me, it's not the best college for me. So that is why the best questions will be, where do I live? How much I can spend for the education, and what do I want to study? Because some of the colleges have very specific careers that they offer. And there's a bunch of different other questions that you can ask. Does the college offer scholarship? Does the college offer scholarship in my major? Does the college have childcare, dorms, undocumented students, and so on? So that's how you can choose the colleges. And basically, from all these colleges, the ones that I don't want you to fall into is for-profit colleges, because again, their main principle is making money off of you, and some of them are not that great. So that is why I want you to explore to see, again, you can check on rankings, maybe for some for-profit are really great, and you can see that. But again, just to make sure that you're aware, you know, how colleges are actually making money. So now I'm going to talk about a little bit about CUNY. So again, it's a system of colleges, and they are all publicly owned, meaning we get money from the government. And it's one university, meaning again, it's one system, and we have 25 different colleges. And each college is actually has different majors, and you can see there's 1,700 majors, a lot of different faculty members, and hundreds and hundreds of degree students. And basically over here, you can see all the locations of all our colleges. And we divide them in three groups, basically: four-year colleges, community colleges, and professional graduate schools. So basically, what's the difference between two-year college and four-year college, right? So two-year college, we call it usually community college, and it's about 60 credits to finish that college. And I will talk about what means credit. And once you finish that college, you earn an associate degree. In comparison to four-year college, we sometimes call it senior college or school, and it's 120 credits to finish, and after 4 years, you get a bachelor degree. Here are some of the types, some of the two-year colleges that we have in New York City. It's Queensboro, Borough Manhattan Community College, LaGuardia, some of them probably you know, and four-year colleges are Hunter, Brook, Queens. And here I giving a little bit of vocabulary, what means community college, we call it two-year college or junior. And college, sometimes it means four-year college or senior college. So sometimes those words are used all the time. So in CUNY system, we have 7 community colleges. So it's Borough Manhattan, Bronx, Hostels, and 11 senior colleges, Brooklyn, Baruch, and so on. And we have 3 colleges that are kind of what we call comprehensive, meaning they have 2-year program and 4-year program in their colleges. And some of the colleges, they are urban campuses, meaning they're in the city, they're in the middle of action. And some of them are actually like how you see college in movies. Big, huge lawn, and one building is there, another building is 20-minute walk. So those colleges, we do have it. So we provide exceptional education, and the most important thing is one core curriculum. What does it mean? It means that doesn't matter what major you go into, accounting, English, or Chinese language, you will take all the same classes, all the base classes that you have to finish. And basically this offer you an option to transfer from one college to another very easily because it's all the same classes, right? So it's about 30 different credits for classes. So those main classes can be English, math, in the history of the United States, and so on. And obviously we have a lot of different majors because it's a huge system, and it's 25 different colleges. Here's some numbers for you. Basically, if you go to four-year college, you will pay about $7,000 for a year. That means it's $3,500 for a semester. And two-year college is cheaper, and it's about $5,000 a year and $2,500 per semester. This is for New York State residents, meaning that you live in New York State. We're going to talk about residents a little bit later, and this is for those who are international students and those who live out of state. And just quickly, deadlines for the fall is February 1st, and spring semester September 15th. So we passed the deadline, but I don't want you to be worried if you want to go for the spring semester, because this is priority deadlines. And lots of schools, they have deadlines to apply. And usually you go and you're like, oh my God, I missed my deadline. But usually it means priority deadline, meaning it's better to apply before that deadline. But usually schools are still open and accepting applications even after deadline. So each college is different, so definitely you have to go on the website and check and contact their academic advisor to know if applications are still open. So to explain to you, you know, what's the academic year and what's the fall semester, spring semester, it's almost the same as in some countries, right? So fall semester starts in September, spring semester starts in January, sometimes in the in CUNY, for instance, it starts in February. And if you want to start in February, as you can see, it's in the blue, right? You want to start spring semester, you have to apply by September 15. So basically, you're almost applying like 5 months before. So that's usually the time that you need to apply beforehand. The same thing if you want to start, for instance, in September, students that right now are actually taking classes right now, where in September, they had to apply by February 1st. But even after February 1st, students applied in March or April, May, and they still got into September. So definitely, if you see deadline, sometimes you can use it as college.
Before is the $100. Now is
Let's mute everyone. Okay. So all the degrees offered at CUNY, as I talked before, undergraduate degrees is everything after the high school, but before the master's degree, right? So undergraduate degrees are certificates, associate degrees that you earn in 2-year colleges, and bachelor degrees that you earn in 4-year colleges. After the bachelor degree, if you decide to go for master's or even PhDs, that called the graduate studies. And now, what is the credit, right? Because before I showed you associate degree certificates, about 30, 36 credits, associate 60, bachelor 120. But what the credits actually mean? Usually one credit is one academic hour that you spend in a week with the professor, that you spend in a week on campus. Not on campus right now because everything is remote, but basically 1 hour that you spend with the professor. Usually one class is 3 credits, meaning that you spend with the professor 3 hours a week. Some classes that have lab, meaning that you have biology, 3 credits, 3 hours you have lecture with the biology professor. But then there is 1 credit that is for lab, meaning you're not with professor anymore, but you do actual lab, maybe like some, I don't know, mixing stuff in chemistry and stuff like that. So that is why they're adding 1 more credit, and sometimes class with lab is 4 credits. So students who go for the full time, they have to be 12 credits or more. So if we divide 12 by 3 credits, right, we have to have 4 classes. Or if you take all the classes with lab, you have to have 3 classes. So part-time students, it's those who take less than 12 credits. And here is the example. So John is a full-time student and he takes 4 classes. So he takes English composition, and that's actually a class that all of you will take if you decide to go for associate or bachelor degrees. That's the class that you have to take for sure. And intro to math, biology, he's taking with lab, and accounting class he's taking. Actually, after doing the math, he actually earning 13 credits. Since it's 12 credits or more, he's full-time student. And you can see here on the weekly schedule that he has 1 hour and a half English on Monday, 1 hour and a half English on Wednesday. That's give him 3 hours. He has biology 3 hours on Tuesday, and then just 1 hour of lab on Thursday. And here's the math class and accounting, right? So Alexa is actually working. She's full-time and she wants to be just part-time student because full-time, look at the schedule, she cannot handle it, right? So and it's okay. And she's taking only 2 classes, and that's her schedule over here. And obviously 2 classes at 6 credits, and since it's less than 12, she's a part-time student. The good thing in American education is that you can choose your schedule. Basically, your academic advisor will tell you what classes you have to take, but then you decide what classes and what schedule you want to create, which is very different from countries. I'm from Kazakhstan. My academic advisor told me what classes I have to take, and that's the classes I have to take, and that's the schedule I have to take, no changes. But in the United States, it's up to you. You choose and you decide. That is why sometimes you can even be a full-time student, even if you're working, because you kind of can switch classes, sometimes take Saturday or a different day. So basically, to talk about like actually academic year and how many, credits they are. So in academic year, after the calculation, right, it's about 30 credits. As again, I said, there is here's we have fall semester and it's in pink. And for instance, John is taking 12 credits, right? Then we have winter semester, which is winter session, winter term, which is very short. It's only in January. And for instance, John taking only 3 credits there. Then John starts spring. He take again 12 credits. And in the summer, John also can take the more credits. So altogether, 12 plus 12, 24, 27, and 30. So altogether, he's earning 30 credits per academic year. Sometimes if John wants to push it, he can take 15 credits here, have some off during January, take 15 credits here, and have some off during summer. So again, you can create your schedule that it can be a little bit flexible, but again, if you're taking 30 credits or if you're taking less, working part-time, obviously your length of your education will kind of increase. As you can see, as you can see over here, if we're gonna talk about bachelor, 4 years. So John have academic year is 30 credits, and then bachelor 4 years is 120 credits. So basically he's taking 30 in 1 year, and in the first year we call freshman. In the second year he takes another 30. It's called sophomore, fourth year junior, and third year and fourth year senior. So altogether, again, 30 credits, 30 and by 30, 120, and that's John will graduate in 2024 with a bachelor degree. And usually a bachelor degree is 4 years, and usually you take 30 credits per semester, per academic term. But if Alexis, you remember she's a part-time because she has a full-time, and probably she has children as well. So since she cannot take all the 30 credits per year and she takes less, obviously her bachelor degree will not be 4 years. It's going to be maybe 5, maybe 6, maybe 7. And sometimes students do that if they have, if they cannot take all the classes at once. But again, it's all end up into 120 credits. So again, bachelor degree is 4 years. And I can tell you that countries that do have bachelor degree that you can take for 4 years, usually it's the same thing in the United States. So if you're from Latin America, Mexico, Colombia, Argentina, they do have universities that provide education for 4 years. Once you finish it, basically your bachelor degree is the same as the bachelor degree in the United States. In Poland, their bachelor degree is only 3 years, so that is why basically their bachelor degree is not United States bachelor degree. So that is why it's almost not like a rule, but sometimes you can think of if you have bachelor 4 years or more, usually it's going to be a bachelor degree in the United States. But there are evaluation services that will tell you for sure, and we will talk about them later. All right, so basically, again, if you, as I said before, a 4-year degree is only in 4-year colleges, which we call senior colleges, and we can start from 2-year school. So basically, student can decide to go right away to a 4-year degree, or they can start at 2-year school, which we call community colleges. And basically, to explain again about the credits, right, 2-year school is 60 credits, right? 30 credits per academic year, multiplied by 2, it's about 60 credits. All the credits are divided into 3 kind of groups. First one are core credits. As I said before about core curriculum that we have in CUNY, it's all the same classes that everyone has to take. John is in accounting, Alexa is in English writing. John will take the same classes, English composition and math, and Alexa, even though she's in different major, which is English writing, she will take again the same classes. Then second group of classes called your major. So major is something that you want to study, your future career. So John wants to study accounting, so his major classes will be business, accounting, business law, and so on. And if Alexa goes, so her major would be English writing, so it's English, English literature, and so on. And then third group of classes we'll call elective. And that means it doesn't, it's not core class, it's not your major class. You can explore, and that's another thing about American education. Even though you're focusing on accounting, you still can explore different, different majors. You can take sociology, you can take political science, economics, you can take basketball even for class. So basically you can explore and choose different classes that not necessarily related to your major or your core classes. That's why we call them electives. And basically, when you decide then after 2-year school, students sometimes decide to go to 4-year school to earn their bachelor degree, and we call them transfers. And basically, students are able to transfer those credits. Basically, core classes go to core, major will go to major, and electives will go to electives. And then it's just once you're in the 4-year schools, you just take extra core classes, extra major classes, and extra elective classes to get 120 credits for 2 more years of school. So why I'm explaining this types of classes is because some of you maybe went to a college, went to some maybe 2 schools, so, 2-year school or 3-year college, and now you're not sure where you are and how you can basically transfer your credits here. Or some of you started in university but finished only 1 or 2 or 3 years. Maybe some of you are actually finished university and you have your degree. So now maybe you want to go for a different degree and you're thinking, okay, how can I transfer all those credits to my new degree? For instance, I was studying in Kazakhstan, I was studying psychology. And when I came here, I wanted to transfer my credits into a program that I studied at that time, which was business administration and accounting, actually. So basically, even though psychology and business administration, 2 completely different majors, I was able to transfer some classes from my psychology degree into accounting. Why? Because psychology as a class is a core class. So I was able to use that credit for my core classes, and the rest of the credits went to electives. Because again, electives is you can take anything, absolutely anything. And since I already took so many psychology classes, I just put them into electives, and then I just took extra accounting classes, obviously, because I didn't take them back in Kazakhstan when I studied psychology. So basically, that's how sometimes transfer your credits can work. All right, so what means, so I will tell you how to apply to CUNY for undergraduate degree. Again, undergraduate degrees are associates or bachelor degrees. And I will talk about CUNY, but usually it's similar with other colleges. So the first thing is definitely explore. So again, we have 25 different colleges. We have 1,700 majors. And you can say, okay, I like, for instance, Baruch College, because everyone is saying it's a really great college. But Baruch doesn't have nursing if you want to study nursing, for instance. right? So definitely explore what colleges, and as I said before, ask those questions, right? Where do I live? So obviously, if you live in New York State, you're not gonna look at the colleges and in Montana, even though there's gonna be a very good college, right? You live in New York City, or even if you decide to, go to a different state, obviously you will look at school at that state. It's better. And then the other question, how expensive this college is. For instance, Columbia College is Ivy League, is really great college, but it costs about $60,000 a year. So obviously, for some of you, for me definitely, it's not like I cannot afford those money. And then, yeah, you can think about scholarships, but usually it's better to think, okay, if I have to pay for education, if I won't get any scholarship, can I afford this college? Or if I want to study specifically nursing, does this college has this major? And there's other things that you're interested in. Maybe you want to live on campus in dorms and so on. Some of the colleges do have dorms, some of them don't. So it all depends, what do you want? So that is why it's definitely explore, determine your area of study, that means the major, and then decide on the colleges that you wish to attend and go to our website, cuny.edu/apply. So basically, we have two different applications. One is for freshmen and one is for transfer. So now to explain what freshman student is. Freshman student is a student in the first year of college, meaning the student never went to college before. He finished high school and that's all. So some students in other countries, maybe you have only high school, you didn't go to college, so you are a freshman student. And the transfer student is a student who comes to university or school after having begun his or her course or study at a different university or school. And it doesn't matter where in the world you studied in the university. Sometimes students apply as a freshman and then they say, hey, I didn't go to college in the United States, that's why I think I'm freshman, but not. If you went to anywhere in the world to a college, if you went somewhere after the high school, you're a transfer student. That's easier to basically to understand. And the good thing that as a transfer, you can again transfer some of your credits towards your degree here in the United States. And then obviously, if you transfer credits, if you transfer classes, then it's faster to finish your education and you pay less, obviously. So basically, we as a central office process applications, and here is again deadlines and applications fees, documents received after the deadlines can be processed on a space available basis. So as I said before, some of the colleges, they put the deadline, right? It's September 15th for CUNY. We put the deadline and basically after the deadline, if a student still apply, we still accept students because we still have a space. So that is why some of the colleges, even though they have deadlines, sometimes the deadline can be extended because there's not enough students that applied for that time. And basically here the application process. So for freshmen, it's online application at CUNY again, $65 fee, and you can choose up to 6 colleges from the CUNY system. And the transfer students online application, again, you have to submit. It's costs a little bit more, $5 more, so $70, and you can choose up to 4 colleges in our CUNY system. As I said before, CUNY is a system, so we have 25 colleges. You can choose freshmen up to 6, transfer up to 4. Now let's talk about the documents, because first thing is submit application, yes, then submit the fee, but afterwards we need your documents to process you, to accept you. So basically, documents for the freshman is high school record, diploma in the original language and English translation if needed. Obviously, if your documents are not in English, you need to translate them anywhere. We don't really care where you do translation, but it has to be certified translation agency. And then we need TOEFL IELTS, again, if you're coming from the country that does not speak English. And this is basically, it's for the CUNY only. I'm gonna explain you this policy. If you have status, meaning if you have a green card and if you have a citizenship, we do not ask for TOEFL. If you don't have status, meaning you're still on the, in the process of getting asylum, or you're in the process of getting green card, we do ask for TOEFL. Why is that? I cannot explain, but this is a policy that we have it for a long time. It cannot be the same with the other colleges. Some of the colleges, they say, hey, if you're from non-English speaking country, you have to provide TOEFL, and that would be all. So basically, again, I suggest you to check that on the college website. For the transfer student, again, we still need your high school documents, again, in English, in English translation. If it's not in English, maybe TOEFL and IELTS. Right now, we also take Duolingo. So again, the same thing applies if you have status, if you don't have status. But again, for transfer student, the difference is that you also have to provide official college university transcript from all institutions that you attended before. And now I want to explain and stress what means official transcript. So basically, I'll just read it. Official transcript, CUNY, we define it as official record that details your complete academic history, all years, all grades, while you attended college, a university, or any post-secondary institution. Meaning after high school, did you go somewhere, called it college, university, or institute? We need that official transcript. And these records must be sent directly to us from the issuing institution or examining body in a sealed, school issued envelope, meaning that it has to, the university or institution has to send us in their envelope, and inside that envelope there should be your transcript. Right now, obviously, we all work remotely, and right now we do accept actually emails if, for instance, institution can email us your transcript. So we accept that as well, but again, it has to come from their official email address. And now, what's happening? Okay, so here's I want to give you an English test comparison. Sometimes students are afraid of taking TOEFL. It's difficult exam, but we do take very low range of scores. So that is why I don't want you to be worried about it. And you can just study a little bit, go and try to take the test, or you can, you know, like if you know that you have pretty good English, you can just take it right away. So here's, we take TOEFL, we take IELTS, Pearson Academic, and right now we also take Duolingo because it's really easy to take online. Now again, back to transcript. So basically, what is the actually a transcript? So over here, I brought some, I'm sorry, it's only on Russian-speaking countries. So here, diploma, for instance, diploma of from Russia, diploma from Ukraine, and diploma from Uzbekistan. So here's the actual diplomas. What is the transcript? Is actually this list of classes and grades that you were earned in the college while you were studying. So basically, as when we ask for transcript, we just need that list of classes basically that you were able to finish. So now, basically, if you're able to get official transcript from your university and college, from your country. Right now, it's really easy to mail them, request that document, and usually we have no problems with countries sending those documents to us. And we do evaluation, meaning in CUNY, once we receive official transcript and English translation, we do evaluation. What means evaluation? That means that grades that you earn in your country will be transferred into American system. So as I said, we use credits. Some of the country use hours. So obviously we do have people who know exactly what's the system in your country, and they know obviously what's the system in United States, and they know how to translate one class to American system. So this is called evaluation. But if you don't have official transcript, or you don't want to reach out to university, or you just want to do evaluation through the evaluation agency, you can do that. So basically, again, and also to give you the difference between CUNY and other colleges, we do have international department who knows the world and all the education systems. And that is why we can do evaluation on our own. Some of the colleges, they do not have that international department. That is why sometimes they ask for the evaluation service. Basically, they don't do evaluation, they ask you to do somewhere else. And there's 100 of evaluation services, agencies. And it's better to know what college is asking for what evaluation service. And sometimes even when you apply for the job, and for them to know that, yes, you finished bachelor degree, they ask you also, can you provide evaluation of your diploma, so we know for sure that we hire you with bachelor degree or master's degree. And because there's 100 of different evaluation agencies, I want you to know that CUNY accept only these two. Probably most of you know about WES, W-E-S, World Education Services. And they're very popular, and students are using a lot to do the evaluation. For undergraduate degree, unfortunately, we do not accept WES. We do accept only Joseph CUNY and Transcript Research. But we do accept WES for the master's degree if you decide to apply for the master's degree. So you see, like, different policies, different things, and it's better to explore definitely website of the colleges to know for sure, okay, this college doesn't accept WES, or they do accept WES, and so on. Okay, so let me talk about the review process. And the review process is happening in CUNY Welcome Center. When we were open, we had our office on the 42nd Street. Maybe some of you went there. And that's our Welcome Center, and also CUNY Center for all the colleges, all the 25 colleges. Basically, we process application for all 25 colleges. That is why when you apply and you're like, hey, why do I apply with CUNY if I want to go to Baruch, or I want to go to LaGuardia College? Why cannot I apply directly to LaGuardia? So that's not how it works, because we have a central office where all students kind of apply, and we process application, and then we send them to colleges. So obviously here in our center, you apply, you submit to us your documents, we review your application, we do evaluation if needed, we're converting basically grades to US system, and we send, after we did everything, we send your application to colleges that you choose on your application. So as I said, freshmen, those who didn't go to college at all, they can choose up to 6 colleges, and we will send your application to all 6. If you're transferred, you can choose 4 colleges, and we send your application to all 4. And after that, colleges make their decisions, and then when you get your decisions, you get for instance, all 6 decisions, right? From all 6 colleges. Then you choose your college. And afterwards, everything that happens at college, you enroll, you take writing test if you're, again, if you're coming from the country is not, which is non-speaking, not English speaking. Even though you would submit, for instance, TOEFL, you still have to pass that test. And then afterwards, you meet with your academic advisor, and then they'll tell you if they transfer some classes and how many classes you have to take. And then you take classes that finish your degree. Now, for those students who don't speak English or have not enough level of English to study in the college, you will be stopped over here. Again, you can apply, submit all the documents, you will enroll. When you take the test, you probably will not pass it, but you're still in college. You're still in college, and we will provide English courses for you. So those English courses are very low cost, and then you study English for a while, you take the test again, and then if you pass it, again, you meet with your academic advisor and you start choosing actual classes for your degree. Okay, so here's some, let's talk money. Here's the numbers. For those who live in New York State, for full-time in 4-year college, it's about $7,000, as I showed previously. And full-time and community college is $5,000. If you go part-time, as I said before, you start to pay per credit. You don't pay, like you decide to go with one class only. And as I said, one class is 3 credits. So over a year, you multiply 3 by 305 if you go to 4-year college, or you multiply 3 by 200 if you want to go to community college. So Alexa, if she takes 2 classes, and those 2 classes, 6 credits multiplied by 200, she will pay 1,200 for 2 classes, right? And here is the out-of-state numbers for those who don't live in New York State and for those who are international students. And we will talk a little bit about residency afterwards. So about financial aid. So basically, financial aid is money that are given by government. Let's talk by someone and the government. So when we talk about financial aid, we talk about money that given from the government, and we divide them into two groups, I would say. So first, money comes from the federal government, meaning it's from entire United States government, basically. And that money we call Pell Grant. But also we do get money specifically from the state, because there's money in the government, there's money in the state. So in New York State, the money that we receive called TAP. So this money is actually given to students for those who don't make enough money, or they have a situation, and the money are given to the students. Basically depends on their education situation. These money are given only to those who have a green card and citizenship. Unfortunately, these money are not available to students who are in the process of getting status. And this money, if you're a resident, you get your green card and you apply for financial aid, you have to apply for it. And you're applying not with college, you're applying kind of with the government. You're providing your information, you're providing your taxes, you're saying, do I have children? I don't have children. I have children who go to college. You put all that information and they'll tell you how much you're eligible for. And basically this money, if they given to you, and they're not given to you specifically, you're enrolled in college, and then college get to the financial aid and they like, hey, is there money for the student? Please give it to us because student is enrolled in our college, and so on. Student, and basically this money you don't have to give back. There is another type of financial aid called work study, meaning you can work in the college and actually, earn financial aid that way. And third thing, if the third thing is loans. So basically, these money you have to give back, right? For sometimes you apply for financial aid and you get only, for instance, $50 from here, for instance, right? Imaginable numbers. You get $50 from here, but you have to pay 100. So you don't have another $50, so you're applying for a loan to get that rest of the money. What is good with those loans is that once you're studying, you don't have to pay interest. And then even when you finish your education, the interest is very low. It's not the comparison if you go to a bank and take credits from the bank. And another type of financial aid is scholarships. So, and they're also divided into a few groups. Some of them are offered inside of the college. So basically college provides the scholarship. And since this college provides a scholarship, I want to explain to you that if college has money, so Columbia, it's a big college, they have a lot of money, they can provide a lot of scholarships. Government colleges and public colleges like CUNY, since we get money from the government, it's not that much, we cannot offer so many scholarships. But in the same time, we offer a very cheap education. Not cheap, affordable, sorry, affordable education. So that is why, sometimes you just like, hey, CUNY is affordable, but they don't offer scholarships. But then Columbia or NYU are very expensive, but they offer a lot of scholarships. So like, again, you can decide, which one you want to go to. So, and again, those scholarships inside of university, but there is a scholarships that are outside. Organizations are offering scholarships. Coca-Cola is offering scholarships, and companies. So those you can find, there's a few websites, and there are even more websites. You can search for a bunch of scholarships. But again, it's like you have to go in each one and check what are requirements, what do you have to submit. So basically, it's a process to get scholarships. So basically, in financial aid, as I said, you have to apply. Here's the financial aid page, and usually we call it FAFSA, Federal Student Aid, and that's where you apply if you have status. For those who don't have a status, for undocumented students, and for those who are waiting for their status, there is in our state, we call it DREAM Act, and that's only state money. As I said, there is a federal money coming from the government, and government, unfortunately, our federal government don't give money to those who don't have status. But as a state, New York State decided we're gonna provide money to undocumented students and those who don't have a status. And basically, this is a good application. You can also check your eligibility there, and you can apply and get some money to study. Another thing about, even about Pell, TAP, and this DREAM Act, one of the things is if you already have a bachelor degree, you cannot get help from the government. That means, and it's fair, since you already have education, government says, hey, we want to help those who don't have education yet. So that is why we're going to give them money. But unfortunately, if you have bachelor degree already, we will not provide you a help. You can also, you can only, ask maybe for scholarship and look for scholarship. So that is why when you thinking about, if you have a bachelor degree and you're thinking about go for the second bachelor degree, I want you to think really, you know, really think about it, because you probably will have to pay out of pocket. For you have to provide your money. Another very great source is this one, bit.ly/34UMPMC. So I'm gonna go there to show you, and let me know if it appears on your, does it show up? Oh no.
No, we don't see it.
Okay, let me stop sharing. Hold on. Mm-hmm. All right, never mind then. I'll just tell you what you'll see once you click on this. So basically, this there's an organization that actually combine all the scholarships for non-citizens and undocumented students. So basically is for undocumented students and for those who don't have a status yet, who don't have a asylum granted or who don't have a green card granted. It's basically a really great source. It gives you all the scholarships that you can apply for, and it tells you specifically if you have only high school diploma, or you have a bachelor degree, or you're applying for the graduate school. So it's really great resource. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about master's degrees, because as I said, if you have a bachelor degree already in your country, and if it's 4 years, it's almost always the same thing in the United States. It's going to be a 4-year bachelor degree in the United States once you do evaluation. So that is why I would suggest you to think about going further in your education. Instead of going for the second bachelor degree, you can go for the master's degree. And basically in CUNY, we have a different master's degree, and sometimes students asking what means MA versus MS and so on. So master's degrees are just different types. So Masters of Arts is everything that is kind of humanitarian, is sociology, psychology, public, all those humanitarian masters. It's usually Masters of Arts, very specific Masters of Architecture, or Masters of Business Administration, which we call MBA, and so on. So it's like just different type of master's degrees. And the application process is a little bit the same, but a little bit different. So again, it's application and application fee. All previous colleges transcripts. Sometimes they ask you for evaluation. Sometimes they do not. Okay, hold on. Yeah, sometimes they ask for evaluation. They'll tell you what evaluation agencies they accept. Sometimes they're not. Again, everything is on the college's website. Sometimes they ask them for professional evaluation, personal statement for sure, 2 to 3 letters of recommendations for sure, usually resume, usually writing sample, and sometimes TOEFL and IELTS for sure for those who are coming with bachelor degrees from non-speaking English countries. And sometimes there's a specific exam to get to a master's degree, which called GRE and GMAT. And over here I also included the link to our brochure for graduate studies. And it again show you all the graduate degrees that we have in all 25 colleges. And now I just want to quickly say to those who already have a degree, for those who have bachelor's, master's, and so on, I want you to ask yourself, why do you need education? Why do I need to go to college? And usually also, I just want you to ask, where do you want to be? So, and that's easy to ask. If you want to be, for instance, you have your master's degree in psychology, but you want to be in finance, you know that for sure. So in that case, you then know, okay, probably I need to go for the master's degree in finance, since all my studies only in psychology. But sometimes even that, even though you went for psychology, you can find a job in finance. So that is why I want you to talk about a few organizations that helps immigrants to find a job in United States with your education and your experience that you already have from your country. So, and here are the few, there are even more. There is sometimes even more specific, only for engineers or only for IT and so on. But Upwardly Global, they help people to find a job with with their education, their experience. They work with all the fields, your architecture or your IT business manager or so on. Streetwide Partners, they actually also work with you to find, to help you to find a job, but they actually find you a mentor in that field. For instance, if you want to get into finance, they will find someone who works already in finance, so you can actually connect with the person and figure out how to get into that field. And another one, this one is helping only women. So it's helping women, immigrant women, to find also job in the United States, and they provide different workshops. So that's also an option for all of you. And last thing, let's keep in touch. Here's my email where you can email me any questions. And here's our general number of our CUNY Welcome Center. And basically, if you can call and ask Anastasia, and they will transfer it to me. If you email me, I want you to tell you, because I have already students like that. If you email me, give me about 3 to 5 business days to answer. Because I have those students, they email me today, they will email me tomorrow, they will call me afterwards asking like, Anastasia, have you seen my email? Yes, I do. I see all your emails and I will reply to you. And yeah, that would be end of my presentation.
Thank you so much. This has been, a couple people have already said it in the chat, but this has been truly a terrific presentation and kind of debunking the steps to apply for college and graduate education. Before we jump into some questions, I also just want to let everyone know, in addition to reaching out directly to Anastasia, you can also sign up for an education consultation with Tanzelia. I've put the link to do that in the chat. That's a really good option if you're not quite sure, if CUNY is the right choice yet, if you want to have a more general conversation about what the best next step for you in terms of education is, I recommend signing up for Reef's education consultation. With that, we'll open up to questions. Fatima, I know you asked 2 questions during the presentation. Do you want to kick us off by raising your questions now?
Yes, please. Can you please read it for others?
Yeah.
Because I have a baby here, he might, make a noise and.
Sure, I'm happy to ask it.
Thank you.
The first question is, what if someone wants to start from undergraduate here in the United States, but they already have a bachelor's degree from wherever they were before?
Okay, yeah, so basically it's definitely, again, it's your choice. Here's it, America is a country of opportunity, and it's all up to you. If you want to go for a second bachelor degree, you got it. You can apply and get to the school. If you want to go for the master's degree, you can apply. It's all up to you, because again, it's you applying, it's your money, it's your time. So obviously, yeah.
The next question, also from Fatma, is there a rule in New York City that says residents of New York City can get their undergraduate education for free?
So there's no free education. I know that there are sometimes advertisement of free education, but it's not free. So in New York State, as I said, we get money from the government, we get money from the state. And state also, we have TAP, as I said before, but also we have Excelsior, what they call Excelsior Scholarship. So definitely you can apply to that, and that's what they call free education, but again, it's not free. So you can apply, you can get money, but you have to check for their requirements, because they're asking you to be full-time, they're asking you to be a good student. So if you go below some, below in your grades, they sometimes can take that money away. So, and if, for instance, you didn't go for full-time or you stop going to school, sometimes they make you pay that money back. So everything like that type of help, I would suggest you to like research and understand all the requirements. Because again, only Pell and TAP are free, kind of free money again. They're just given to you and you don't have to give them back to the government. But the rest, yes, there's some requirements or there's something that you have to do specifically for that.
And I'd really, speaking from experience, the experience of a couple people in the Reef community, if you're considering a program that advertises itself as being free or advertises that they'll provide you your tuition back if you don't get a job afterwards, these financial incentives, I encourage you to reach out to us to have an education consultation first, just to be 100% sure that kind of these requirements that Anastassiya has discussed, but also that your immigration status won't become a reason that something turns out to not be totally free.
And just quickly say, because I didn't mention that, CUNY and CUNY, since we are public institutions, we accept all students. It doesn't matter you have documents, you don't have documents, you're in the process, without the process, it does not matter for us. That is why, like, we have a lot of undocumented students. We have a lot of students who are in the process of getting green card or their asylum granted. The only difference becomes when you start paying money, but that's also like a thing that we can talk about. But again, like, you can apply, you can definitely apply and get accepted. I cannot speak about any other colleges, but for CUNY and SUNY, private schools in New York State, we accept all the students.
Great. We have a couple more questions that have come through the chat. One more from Fatima. What if you want to study something in a master's degree that's totally different from what you did your bachelor's in?
Yeah. So another good thing in American education is that for master's degree, you don't have to continue your focus. Meaning that if you study psychology, for instance, yeah, I studied sociology, right? I finished with a sociology degree, and now I actually study communication and branding. So, which is completely different, completely in marketing, which is completely different degree. So again, you can apply to absolutely different degree. The difference, the only I want to make point is that those technological degrees. So for instance, architecture, obviously I cannot go for the master in architecture with a sociology bachelor, because I don't know anything about all those, everything. So that is why, like, something very technological, medical degrees, they do have this, like, you have to actually start in bachelor degree, study architecture, and then you can get to masters in architecture. But something like, if you want to go for business administration, finance, or sociology, education, like you can actually use your bachelor degree for that.
Awesome. Carlos has posed a question in the chat. Carlos, do you want to ask your question?
Yeah, with the sorry. Yeah, my question is I don't have green card. My asylum process is still in study. The price for my call be for resident in New York.
Let me show you again on the money. So basically, with the students who are still in the process, again, you can apply, you can get accepted. When you get to a college, a lot of students just provide information to the college that they live in New York State more than 1 year. So basically, in general, to be a New York State resident, you have to live in New York State more than 1 year. This is true for anyone, even those who come, for instance, from California. They come to New York State and they're not New York State residents right away. They have to live for a year. And basically, the students who are still in the process, basically, you're still applying, you didn't get your asylum yet. When you get to the college, you can prove that I don't have status yet, but I pay taxes here, I live here, my bills are coming here. Basically, you prove that you are New York State resident in the, in the works, basically. So you can do that and get in New York State tuition. Like it says, it shows over here. New York State residents pay obviously lot less than out-of-state residents. So definitely, like, it's not a rule, but again, you can work with the college and say, hey, I know I'm not actually a resident because I don't have my green card yet, or I don't have my granted asylum, but I do actually live in New York State. And the main thing for New York State residents is that you pay taxes here. So that's why college says, okay, you give money to the state, so we're gonna give you in-state tuition. So that's kind of.
Thank you so much, Anastasia.
You're welcome.
We have a couple more questions coming in. Lily, would you like to pose your question?
Hi, yes, thank you. Okay, my question is, I have a bachelor degree in communication and journalism in Colombia, and master degree in educational psychology in Spain. My question is, I can enroll in CUNY to do a PhD?
Yeah, absolutely. And another thing, not a lot of students know, in the United States, you can go to PhD even after bachelor degree. So you don't have to even have a master's degree. But since you already have a master's degree, it's gonna give you even more chance to get into a PhD. Yeah, so you definitely can apply.
Okay, thank you. Thank you so much.
Great. We have two more questions, and then I want to be respectful of Anastasia's time since we're approaching 2:30. So we'll get the question from Nika and Alex, and if anyone else has questions after, you can reach out to Anastasia directly or sign up for an education consultation with Tanzelia. Nika, would you like to ask your question?
I actually see the question, and I just want to show you again. Do you see this part of the presentation? Okay. So again, about I want to show you this. So over here, you can see.
Yes. So, hi everyone. I'm right now, but I remotely listen. So I had a question. What was the admission requirements for the JD program?
Mm-hmm.
at CUNY, and if that require LSAT examination,
Yeah.
and also if I would need to take TOEFL examination again, because I had my undergraduate education partially as I also to self-assessment here. Yes, that was my question. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. So again, I just wanted to show you again this the slide. So over here, you can see, you know, after 4-year degree, like after bachelor degree, you can go to master's degree, or you can go to professional school, medical school, or law school. It's on the same level as a graduate, but usually we don't call it master's degree in law. We call it actually like law degree. So to get to the those professional schools, they always ask for that exam, which call for law LSAT, for medical school GMAT. You have to take it. It's have to, yeah. And since you're not from English-speaking country, yes, they will ask for TOEFL. You can take TOEFL as many times as you want, as well as LSAT and all those exams. You can take any amount of times. You have to pay for each time. But again, if you didn't get good score, you can retake it again. So, but if you have a TOEFL that you already took and it's really good score, I believe it can be 5 years old. So if you took in 2015, it can be still used. But if you took in 2014, you have to retake it again.
And not to sound like a broken record, but if you're considering taking these types of entrance exams, especially the LSAT and the GMAT, which in the United States, there are lots of programs that exist to help people prepare for those exams. So if you're considering taking one, sign up for an education consultation, because we can definitely explain the most cost-effective way to prepare best to take that exam and to be successful when you take it. Okay, I'm going to give the last question to Alex. Alex, would you like to pose your question?
Yes, I would like to. Thank you. Hello, Anastassiya. Thank you for your presentation. So I have like 2 questions. Yeah, I heard that like when you talk about college application, is like you have to provide your transcript. And as me, right here, I miss one of my transcripts. Will I still being accepted or to be admitted at the college, even I don't have one transcript?
No. So basically, we will hold your application until you get the transcript from all the colleges that you attended before.
Yeah, so I went for like 2 years, like we call it diploma, which is in Kenya. And I finished all, and I even get graduated. But I came to the United States with only three transcripts, either though I went for 4 semesters, but 1 semester is missing.
Do you know why you're missing 1 semester?
Yeah, it's like maybe lost in the document.
Okay, so those type of situations, you know, and especially if you have very specific, you know, situation, you cannot get the transcript, or the school is closed, or like there's a lot of different situations when the students cannot get the transcript, or you know, you don't know specifically how to get that. Definitely reach out to me, to my email, because it's very specific situation, and definitely, like, if you have question about your education and how to translate that into United States system, again, also reach out to me, so you know for sure what documents you have to submit to us or to any other college.
Yeah, all right. Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you for that. Thank you for that. And I also have my graduated document. Like, you know, once you finish, they give you that graduate document. Will that also help?
We would, you see, we will need that as well, but
Yeah.
we still need to know what classes you finish and what grades you received, because we want to transfer those. So that is why, like, we actually need the transcript.
All right, thank you. So my second question is like, so if I am already admitted and I am undocumented, so you mentioned that there is like a program for for students in general who like can apply for some type of jobs or working. Like, even though I'm still undocumented, I'm in a process of getting my green card. Am I allowed to work as well, as even though I'm still undocumented?
So this is very, like, I cannot say for sure. Those organizations that I listed on the last page, they work only with those students who have a work permit. So like, they can actually work in the United States. With your situation also, you can email me and I'll try to do research, and I can definitely find out more information for you.
All right, thank you. So I also have like one last question, please. It's like for undocumented students, can they apply for like a scholarship or stuff like that?
Yeah, so as I showed you, also showed the this page. Hold on, let's see. This one. So for undocumented, there's a DREAM Act, which you actually apply with the state. So you apply with the state, you provide the information to the state, and they, you know, they can basically give you some money to study. But scholarships that are outside of the state, maybe some organizations provide money, or whoever gives the money, you can also apply for the scholarships over here. So so basically that's the link. I believe it's in the chat as well. So you can open it and it's gonna give you all the different scholarships and how to get to them and what you need to submit and so on.
All right, thank you so much. I'm satisfied with your response. Thank you.
You're welcome.
And if we could end on one reaffirming note, institutions like CUNY really want to help people come and be students. And so if you have a weird situation where you don't have a piece of information, just always reach out and ask, because more often than not, the admissions counselors you talk to are going to be able to find a unique solution to your unique challenge. And so it's always worth asking.
All right, thank you so much.
Maria, do you want to say anything else before we go?
No, I just want to say thank you so much, Anastasia. That was so informative, so thorough, and most importantly, it provides hope to so many of us. So yes, we just want to applaud you and hope to see you again. And love your new haircut.
Thank you.
Thank you. We hope to see you soon.
Perfect. Thank you for inviting.
Everyone for joining. We'll see you all again later.
Bye.
Thank you, guys. That helps so much.
Thank you. Thank you. Excellent information.
I think it's too late to put my email in the chat.
Anastasia, if you want, I can email the people who participated to give them your email. Like me too.
I mean, yeah, I mean, like, I don't know where you're planning to post that. I had also